Good morning. What is going on? Monday morning, back. Had a fantastic trip in Santa Fe. First time in New Mexico. Very quirky, fun place to be. Delicious. Oh my gosh, I am in love with the red and green sauce. It is so amazing. And yeah, I had a wonderful time with my girlfriend. Just relaxed at the spa, checked out some art, eat some good food. Went to the Meow Wolf exhibit. That thing is crazy. Good times, good times. And yeah, I just got back last night. Just opening up the charts. Let's see what we got. I noticed we had a little bit of a move up on Friday. So that was the 4th. Let's see. That's this dude right here. So on the 4th, let's see, where does it start? I guess it starts up here. Okay, moved up a bit. Then it looks like we had a turned down pretty hard. Closed 90.7. Interesting. So in this trade, we would have gotten in, it would have come down a little bit, knocked back, pulled back deeper, 97. And then when it just blasted right through, so then we would have gotten in here. Yeah, we would have gotten in here with a deeper stop, and then it would have come through. 97. And then brought in our stop, break even, and then let's see. Pretty decent move down. Probably got stopped out there. So maybe be like a 5-point move or so, something like that. And then it cruised up the other direction for quite a bit. 15 points or so. Yeah, about a 15-point move. All right. So I had an interesting conversation about value with my girlfriend last night. There'd been a lot of interesting developments over the past days with my work um, and then getting all these different little mini job offers and whatnot. And it's kind of the first time I'm having to place, not the first time, but it's coming up a lot more frequent where I'm having to place a dollar amount on various services that I do. And since I'm used to just having a salary and working on my trading and making money trading, and have my side passions and whatnot. But now it's like those random side passions or side jobs are asking me like, hey, what are you worth? Hey, what are you worth? And it's interesting. At first, my impulse was to do a lower amount. And I realized my initial belief around it was like, that you're doing someone a favor, being of service to them and being a good person by charging them less. And then my girlfriend kept pointing out like, hey, you're undercharging. Hey, you're undercharging. Hey, you're worth more than that. Other people are charging a lot more than you. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, at first I thought, oh, it's because, I don't need the money that bad. And so I can be more Samaritan to them. And then she kept bringing it up. And then I started feeling like I wasn't believing the story that it wasn't that like, money's not, it was important. So I started asking her like, why does she keep bringing it up? And then she started talking about value. She's like, I know you like to be valued for the work you do and what you do, and so I'm calling you out on it that you know you need to be valued. You need to, if you want to be valued, then you got to raise your prices. And I was like, and then I started digging into it more, and I realized like I hadn't really worked on that relationship, and so I started digging into it and realized, I was able to unearth these feelings of, you know, like unworthiness, to not receive that level of money, like any higher amounts. I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize that was there. So I started thinking about that in terms of all the different parts of my life. And even I feel like that's a block that I felt was there with trading, but I couldn't put words into it until these conversations. And now I understand. I'm like, oh, I feel like my belief system around how much I'm worth is reflected in is going to deeply affect how I trade. And so now I'm in this process of raising my level of worth to match value. And so now I'm on this quest of finding my true value, right? It's like, okay, let's see how valuable am I, right? And I think that's important for every trader, right? And in any business or anything in negotiation or trade or exchange between you and anybody else. But using trading as an example, trading is such a beautiful example for so many things in life, right? And you can play with the concepts of how much money, like right now, how much money in a day are you worth right now? Like realistically, like don't just like throw out a big number just because. But realistically, like tap in, feel in, and feel like where your true right now, where your true value's at, based on your feelings about yourself, your feelings of self-worth and confidence and self-love and all of that. Could you put a number, right? I would say the number that comes to me right now is like 1,000. Like around 1,000, I think is like in a day would be like where I feel my value hits the limit. Um, And that's probably around, even in history, like that's probably around, I think the most I've made in a day is maybe like 13 or 1500 or something like that. And but yeah, I think around the 1,000 mark there's something psychological there. And obviously I want to make a lot more than that in a day, especially with a system where it's designed to give you a good big day to feed, for a week or 2 weeks. So, whew. So I'm playing with that right now. We're about to open, and we've been moving up from a gap down. So we'll be looking for a close downwards. And let's see if we can put a higher value. Let's say 10,000. That feels good. I think you gotta find out where you're at, where you're like your current comfort level zone is, and see like, okay, I'm at 1,000 now, and now you gotta feel like, where do you feel like you should be right now? And then you can put a number on it. And I'm like, I think mine's like right now is 10,000. So, and then when you set that level, now you have created a belief. You're creating a belief system around that. You're like, I'm worth the 10,000, right? And as you reinforce that, reality will work to catch up to your level of belief of reality, right? So that's the kind of feedback loop you're working with. Whatever you believe, the reality echoes back to you, and it might need to catch up. Like, it might not be like instantaneous, but it can be. But sometimes, a lot of times, it tends to have to work up to catch up to your level of belief. Looks like a pretty choppy open so far. Nothing too out of the gate blasting. Had this thing come down, 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 down. Then we had the big move down. Kind of bottomed out a little bit, went sideways. This is like the area where I was trading, and it looks like October 4th kind of broke out a little bit. Pulling back, pulling back. It looks like it could totally keep doing that and pushing higher. Or it could. Hmm. getting colder and colder here. It's actually going to be, it's like 26 degrees out. My cat just like wanted to go outside. She's like, peace. I'm like, damn, 26, okay. Alright, you do you, boo. We're gonna have a high of 32 this week on Thursday with a low of 12. Getting colder. Yep, here we go. Looks like it has its push up. Let's see if this downward push yields anything. So far, it's pretty choppy. Here we go. Here we go. Making a break. Breaking through, testing below, pulling back. Buyers and sellers duking it out at this edge point. Pressing lower, pressing lower. Get a horizontal line going. See where this thing's gonna close. Mm, mm, mm. It's gonna close. Just keeps going down. I think somewhere in here it's gonna close. Maybe when it crosses some of these. I think it's gonna be before this. Oh, there it is. 91.9. Interesting. So it's poked there. We're looking for a pullback. This bar could even close. It's like I'm pushing on. Let's see if this can be a pullback bar for us. Well, I kept waking up a few times over the night. I'm trying to, since it's getting colder, you gotta dial in the heater better. If you dial it up too high, it works harder because it's colder. So then if it's too high, it'll end up boiling your ass. Um, Even if it's just by 1 degree and you shift it by 1 degree down or 2 degrees down, I shifted up. I had it at a certain level I had during like earlier in the months. Oh, here we go. This is a
Order filled.
I felt a little hasty on that entry. I think this might pull back harder than I'd like. That's the entrance. We'll just hold it steady here at 2 points and then see how it does. Might just keep pressing on down, which would be super nice. Make my job a lot easier. We're getting quite a bit of basing, yeah. So this is probably going to push up and then we'll probably have to get in at like, he'll pull back more. And we'll try again. Because we had kind of back and forth, and then it blasted down. This is a pretty I feel like it's unsustainable kind of push down, but we'll see. Tested that low. Break even isn't so. Yeah, there's the failure to go lower. Here's our pullback.
Stop field.
Alright, that takes us out. For this one, did pull back deeper. The way this works is now our stop will be behind that. And it is pushing higher. We're looking for this thing, because it had a big boost up here. We're looking for this thing to kind of just plop down more, so see what we can get. This is moving back so much. We'll probably just treat this as a reset. If it comes back down and re-engages the bottom. It looks like this thing could close up. Well, we'll see. Sometimes it just pulls back pretty deep and then it comes back. So, it's really interesting. We've had all these apps crop up over the years, like Robinhood and SoFi Invest and M1 Finance and all these other apps where it's all commission free. And and obviously they're making money on those trades in other ways. But yeah, I just recently got an email from TD Ameritrade this month saying they're now going commissionless. And then right after that, it was literally like a couple days after that, I got an email from E-Trade. So I used to have an account at Options House and I was doing options long time ago, maybe like back in like 2012. And I believe they got bought out by E-Trade. And they're commissionless too. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It's really cool. Like suddenly, like I remember before it was like you're trying to find the best deals on commissions for this and that. And now it seems like we're not even have to worry about that. It'll be You'll be focusing more on other aspects of the brokerage. If only we could have Well, that's the cool thing. Actually, um, trading with Top Step Trader on their TS Trader system is commissionless. Although, of course, they do get a cut of my profits, which is totally fine for now. They have a lot of awesome. I mean, I enjoy using this software for placing my trades, although I could totally do it all in NinjaTrader. Um, but the commission free is nice. It saves a little bit of money, especially later down the road, but they're definitely taking their cut. So, but also I like this software, but I also enjoy that you can build in stops. So I have a personal stop of $300, which basically is great because it stops me from over trading on any day, right? It's a great protective measure. Um, yeah, I think it enforces good trading because you only have a little bit of money you can lose, so every trade matters. You want to do it right You want to follow your system the best you can. Because before you know it, you lose that little bit of personal loss and you're out for the day. And to be out for the day because of if trade's not in your system, doesn't feel good. So you start learning better ways to trade. Well, big push up. Here's the pullback. Big push up again. See how it compares. So the open around here. Here is open. Right? It tapped it, pulled back, came up, came down, tapped on it, and now it's pushing back through. Looks like we're getting our return. Very swingy day so far. Not banking too hard on a big moving day. Looks like we're going to have to save our ammo, most likely, for the rest of the week. Then you think like, wow, this thing closed all the way down here. It perfectly captured the swing, and then you entered right at the double bottom. Good job, Jamie. But that's okay. The system, it thinks beyond just this. Because what can happen is it's swinging right here, but there's been days where it comes down, right? Yeah, creates that double top or bottom and doesn't work out, pulls back deeper, resets, comes back through again, sets up and actually breaks out. Right? You just gotta be patient. You gotta capture what your system is designed to capture. And that's the thing is like you can see everything else that's happening on any given day. But if your system's not designed to capture that, then you have to have a conversation with yourself. Okay, what does my system capture? And am I cool with that? Is that enough for me? Right? And how does it feel? How does it feel to focus on capturing that, what my system focuses on? And how does it feel if I were to have two systems, like one that captures this stuff, like up and down stuff, or, I mean, range trading, really. Or extending my system to encapsulate other elements, right? So you have to really, you can always shift and change and modulate because this is a universe of possibilities, right? And each system is designed to capture something in the market. Not everything, something. And you got to understand what that something is and if that's cool with you, right? You're down with that. And if you're cool, or if you're cool with something else, and then you just modify it to figure out whatever it is you want to capture. What do you want? And then have a system that, or multiple systems that encapsulates that. Pushing higher. Almost at the high of the day. Now, okay, so it just closed. Yeah, so that concludes because I only shoot for the first. I'm really honestly looking for an out of the gate push in a certain direction, and then I just go hard on that. Like for example, this came up and then it turned, and then I would just focus on just nailing this and milking this, and then it turns. That's it. I focus and hone in where I'm looking to make money. That's it. So cool. We will see how this day develops and come back next morning. That's really it, guys. All right. Have an amazing day full of love and abundance. And keep and question value. Like think about where your level of value is at with your trading, with any other income, any other businesses or negotiations or trade. Anything where you're exchanging your time. If you think about it, like trading is all about finding value. They're trying to find places of value, right? And auction to those places. And so, I mean, the market's figuring out its value. And the market is made up of individuals, right? People. Or robots designed by people. And so all those people, we're all trying to pinpoint value, right? And so that value is essentially an extension of our own philosophy and belief system, and ultimately the value of ourselves. So, for example, I'm looking for a big moving trend system that I feel like when I was going for swings and then I would start to degrade to scalps, and that kind of is a degradation of value, especially when you compare it to what you're risking. You're only worth a little bit of money to risk all that or whatever it is. And going for bigger moves shows, you have a bigger sense of value. So it is all a direct reflection of who you are and how you view yourself and value yourself. So these are just some things to think about. I think it's really important. I think is really one of the core elements to trading is this essence of value. So give it some thought and see what you come up with. And maybe you can shift and transform your trading through that. And upgrade your sense of value to upgrade your trading. All right. Happy trading. Peace.